Imagine you're living in the Kingdom of Korea in the late 1800s. This is what your life was probably like.
Hey! What? Look out!
Koreans, after years of isolationism, were experiencing foreign influence. This foreign influence included nations from all over the world, and most particularly meant the introduction of new cultures. And when we say cultures, we mean Christianity. Catholicism had been in Korea for hundreds of years, but the government got really sick of them and they went underground. But in the late 1800s, Christians all over the world saw the opening of Korea as an opportunity to share the good news. One of these Christians was Presbyterian doctor Horace Allen. Allen's story may be of particular interest to Latter-day Saints because his story is strikingly similar to the Book of Mormon prophet Ammon. Let me explain. Horace Allen was a young doctor assigned by the Presbyterian Mission Board of Shanghai around 1883. Apparently he didn't like it very much because about a year later he was disappointed at the prospect of actual missionary work and decided to try Seoul instead. He arrived in Seoul, and after working there for 3 months, he got wrapped up in a pretty wild national incident. You see, Korea at the time was experiencing the pull of Japanese from the east and Chinese from the west. The king often sided with the Japanese officials on things, but his nephew-in-law, well, didn't. On December 4th, 1884, the Japanese tried to kill Min. Allen, as one of the only Western doctors around, was called to help Min, and through some medical wizardry, saved him. King Kojong actually thought this was pretty cool and soon promoted Allen to be his personal physician. Not bad for living in the country for like 4 months.
Wow.
Allen quickly asked the king if he could establish a Western hospital in Seoul, and King Kojong was like,
Okay.
Allen quickly bought a dead guy's house and converted it to a hospital with state funds. Though a lot of people said he couldn't or shouldn't do it, he succeeded. And in the first year of the hospital, records say that somewhere around 10,000 people were treated. Allen went on to work as an ambassador to Korea for the United States, keeping close ties with the king and developing what appears to have been a genuine friendship and loyalty. The hospital went on to treat many more Koreans, and Allen was remembered by many as opening the way for Protestant Christianity because of his quick thinking but perfectly placed timing. Now, how does this make him like Ammon the Nephite prince? Well, let's think about it. Ammon was a young missionary who left home to preach in a foreign land where he wasn't welcome. He made friends with the king and queen and was trusted by them in a remarkably short time after a near-death experience caused him to, quote, show forth his power, which garnered trust between him and the local rulers, despite opposition from other local groups. After working among them for years, he became a bridge between his nation and their own. Now, of course, these examples bear a lot of differences too, but what can we learn from the connections? Well, like Alma says, quote, the Lord doth grant unto all nations of their own nation and tongue to teach his word. Yea, in wisdom all that he seeth fit that they should have. Therefore we see that the Lord doth counsel in wisdom. Horace Allen's remarkable experience shows, just like Ammon's, that God loves and will work with all people in order to bless them.